How's it going, everybody? Ben from basesetmew here, and welcome back to what is another mail day. In this one, I am finally unboxing my Cardhobby Order, and this has been lying around for about a month at this point, and I really can't wait anymore, so I'm opening it up now. So I'm really excited to open this one up and show you all the cool cards that I've bought. I also have this card right here. Now, this is not inside the parcel because this is from Sugar Goo. This is actually the card that was in my parcel that was seized by German customs, but I thought I'd include it in here anyways, because it will make sense a little bit later on as we go on with the video. We'll just have to wait and see, but I promise you it's worth it. Alright, to contend with this parcel then, shall we? Let's just cut it right open. I guess we'll just do it like this and rip it open right here, get it out of the DHL bag. Something that hasn't changed though, they always seem to use like beat up boxes whenever shipping something, which is fine because none of the cards I ever bought from Cardhobby ever came here damaged, so there you go. And well, this is usual. We usually get a bubble mailer or like this envelope where all our cards are contained. And here we are. So I actually had to remove the labels on each of these cards. I guess they just keep them for the inventory so they don't get confused. So there we are. Most of these cards are actually graded, but I will be cracking most of them out of their cases anyways. More on that a little bit later. We have one non-graded card, so I guess we'll just tackle this one first. I know exactly which this one is. This is the Jolteon from Terrestrial Festival EX. Yes, it is. There you go. I feel like every single time I've ordered something off Cardhobby, I've always ordered one of these evolutions from Terrestrial Festival EX. I don't know why. It's not like I planned to, but I just got this one for a really good price. Well, at the time it was a good price. For this one, I paid $35. I actually haven't paid attention to the prices for these cards in particular, for the, not just the evolutions, but really just any SAR from Terrestrial Festival EX. So that might be a high price now, it might be a good price. I think at the time it was an okay price, but that's one more evolution down for the collection. I still need a bunch of them. I dread the day I have to buy the Sunbryon or the Umbreon EX, whichever you want to call it. But there we go, this is a nice one. A little bit off-center, but that's fine. Going into my binder anyways. There we go, very nice. Let's put you over Cynthia's face right here, and let's see which this one is. So, the nice thing about ordering this one a while ago, you mostly forget which cards are in here. I mean, if it wasn't for the list I have up on my screen to know the prices for each of these, I wouldn't have any idea what any of these cards are. Let's see what this one is. Oh, this is a cool one. Okay, so this is the Blank's Name Mew. This is another play promo. I actually teased this card in one of my earlier videos, and this one is really cool. This one is going into my binder, by the way. This is one of the cards that I will be cracking. It's quote-unquote just a PSA 8, but being a play promo, it was still kind of pricey, but nowhere near as pricey as the other play promo Mew I bought a little while ago. This one ran me $180. And I think from recent sales, at least at the time, I found out that's actually a pretty good price for a card like that. It's only a PSA 8, but then again, it's going into my binder anyway, so realistically an 8 is fine with me. Also seems to have a little swirl here. Do you see that? That's super cool. Let me show you this card up close, or as close as I can. Look at this one. I think that illustration is super cute. I actually don't know where I ranked this card in particular when I ranked all the Mew illustrations, but I think it was pretty high up. But there we are, a very cool addition to my Mew collection that's already pretty big, but there we are. So most of these cards are actually graded by CCIC. Last time around I actually had some cards and I did some digging. Turns out this is, well, it's not just a grading company, they basically certify almost anything within China, and they're officially backed by the Chinese government. So I thought that was a pretty interesting fact, but then most of these, as I said, I'm going to be cracking out of the case. And this one, oh, my very first Gold Star. Didn't think this was up so early, but there we go. My very first Gold Star for my main binder. The Regirock Gold Star. Very, very cool. It's just an 8, but then again, just as the Mew, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because, well, as you can see, maybe it's a little bit off-center, top to bottom, or bottom to top, whichever you want to say it. But I think this is still fine. It is a first edition, and I do realize, I know people keep telling me that for certain sets, first editions are actually more common than non-first editions. I think that's very evident during the X and Y and black and white era, although it might be a little off. But I think this is still pretty cool in a first edition especially. I come from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where first edition is basically anything, and I don't think you're ever gonna get rid of that mentality, right? As to think first edition is rarer than non-first edition. This one, right, the price is gonna be insane. You're not gonna believe me when I tell you. I paid $210 for this one, for an 8. Most recent sales at the time I've seen went for upwards of 700, like comparable to like a PSA 7, PSA 8. So that was an incredible price, and I'm really happy that I got this one. I'm still a little bit upset that I never got my Rayquaza Gold Star. I have been looking to buy one ever since, and I have never found another one of similar quality. So I'm a little bit upset that I missed out on that one. Well, UPS stole my parcel, allegedly. Well, that's a story for another day. So, another card right here. Which one is this? Let me actually get it out of the... Let's see. Oh, it's the Hops Zacian. Very, very cool. Okay. I actually like every single one of the illustrations from Battle Partners. This one is no exception. I know people don't really like Hop that much, which is why this card was really, really cheap, and then being a 9 also helps to keep the price down. For this one, I paid $17. That's an incredible price for an illustration like that. Very, very nice with the Zacian. This illustration, like, you can tell me anything, you can hate Hop as much as you want. You gotta admit that Dom killed it with this illustration, right? That is some great stuff. Another one up right here. Let's see which this one is. Oh, it's the Iono's Belly Bolt, also from Battle Partners. This one is a 9.5. I do feel kind of bad to crack this one, but this is still pretty cool. Going up into my binder, and it will look amazing in my binder. This one was more expensive than the Hop, obviously, because the Iono is pretty popular. For this one, I paid $82. I still think that's a pretty good price, especially since it's graded. I don't know how reliable CCIC is. No clue, no idea. But I think generally a 9.5 would be equal to maybe a PSA. Well, don't say PSA, because PSA is kind of hit and miss with their grades, eh? Maybe equivalent to like a BGS 9, BGS 8, something like that, which is totally fine for a binder copy. So there we are. Very nice with the Belly Bolt right here. And this is the last card that I will actually be cracking. Every single card following after this one will be kept. But let's look at this one first. And we have En's Zoro arc right here, also from Battle Partners. Do you sense a theme right here for this one? I bought a bunch of these, apart from the Lily's Clefairy. That's the only one I didn't buy. And this one I paid $40 for, which is an incredible price. I feel like I see that about every single card, but I feel like that's the truth because I've got so many good deals on Cardhobby over the years I've been using them now. But as I said, every single illustration from Battle Partners is a banger. So if you do get lucky and open a box with an SAR, you're gonna be in for a treat. There is no SAR that is a miss. Every single one is super cool. Even the Hops Zacian. I do realize it's a very cheap SAR, but the artwork is still incredible. Same with this one. Super well done. Alright. This one, though, this one is really, really special. This one I will actually keep in their case. I will not crack this one because I know exactly what this is by that golden thing right here. And I think this card is super neat. Wait till you see it. It's a CCIC Perfect 10 Sleeping Mew, and it is a simplified Chinese Sleeping Mew, which is why I bought this card. I thought that was super cool. This one was, I want to say, a little bit on the pricey side, but again, for a Perfect 10, I think that's fair. I paid $65 for this one, and I think this is super neat. If you've been a fan of my channel for a little bit longer, you might be aware that I have this card in Japanese in a CGC Perfect 10 something that CGC doesn't do anymore. And that's why I bought this one, because first of all, I thought it was super cool to have this one in simplified Chinese. And then second, it was also even cooler to have it in a perfect 10 by a Chinese grading company. I felt like that makes so much sense. I absolutely had to get this card for my graded Mew collection. Yeah, this is super cool. I'm so happy with this purchase. And also, you know, the cases look super cool, very reminiscent of the CGC, because they're just clear, not frosted, nothing. Maybe even a little bit of tag, but then the label is still in the way. I really like these cases, actually. I think they're pretty cool. Alright, before we go on to the main event of this card right here, because this is the most expensive card in this whole mail day, I want to show off this one right here that I alluded to earlier at the beginning of this video. This is the one I bought of Sugar Goo that was actually seized by German customs, but I wanted to show this off anyways. Because, well, first of all, it's still a mail day, even though not technically strictly card hobby, but it really fits the theme, as you're gonna see once I reveal the other card. We have the Guzma from the Dreams Come True collection set B in a PSA 10. Look at this one. Look at this one. For this one was also, I think, incredibly cheap as compared to eBay prices. For this one, I paid $80. And the eBay prices I've seen for this one go for like, I think $200 I've seen. So that was an incredible steal. Really cool. And I'm really happy that the parcel did arrive in the end, so that I didn't have to buy that card again. So that is really, really cool that I didn't miss out on that card. There you go. So this card is so special, in fact, that it comes in its own container right here. These are actually super neat. So wait until I turn it around. And here we are, the Acerola Dreams Come True from Set A, also in a PSA 10. Yo, that is so cool. So this Acerola, as I said, was the most expensive card in this whole order by far. For this one, I paid $540 US. And I think in terms of prices for recent eBay sales, I think that price was on par. I didn't get this any cheaper as I would have on eBay. But now you should see a connection to this one. And once I show off this card, it should become very clear why I bought these other two versions. Because these three, let me just lay this over the Mew, these three were actually promos during the Japanese Battle Day event, which lasted, I think, in 2019, October to December, might be a little bit off there. And tournament winners of those special events would actually receive, not the cards themselves, you would actually get a promo pack that contained one of the three. So, well, safe to say, these cards in Japanese are even more expensive than the Chinese counterpart, and I am still really happy, and I'm super glad that I got this one in a pristine 10 like ages ago, really ages ago. And I always thought like I would love to complete this set. I'm stumbling across all my words, I feel like, just because of how amazed I am at this. Finally having all three of these in my possession. And still the Linus CGC Pristine 10, it's probably the best card I ever got back from CGC. Maybe even better than my perfect 10 Mew. Just because of how special that card is and how much it means to full art trainer collectors, right? That's how special the card is. And I'm super glad to finally complete the collection. Well, safe to say that this mail day was a huge success. I hope you do agree, and if you do, then please give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, then give it a thumbs down. Tell me in the comments below what you didn't like, so I can try to fix it for future videos. Other than that, right here's a video that you two think is best suited for you. Right here's the subscribe button, click this one first, then click this video. Check out any of the other videos in the description below, and I hope we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, peace, take care.